In Kashmir, there's an external factor on the other side of the border that needs to be handled. Diplomatically, let me at the onset settle the core issue that worries every Indian. Nations with stable democratic governments, professional armed forces and nuclear weapons do not part with their territory. The state of Jammu or Kashmir is an inalienable and inseparable part of India. It is and will remain central to the idea of India. The only issue before us is to thwart the challenges and threats to this idea. The problem has an external and an internal dimension. The external dimension is Pakistan and the internal dimension is the insurrection in. Both are interdependent. Pakistan's strategy Pakistan, due to primordial religious emotions, the deprivation of in 1947 and its dismemberment in 1971, considers India an adversary state. It has an unambiguous India-centric national security strategy backed by a political, public and military consensus. Its essential features are: wage a deniable fourth-generation war, 4 gigawatts in and hinterland of India exploiting its fault lines, deter, dissuade the Indian threat with conventional and nuclear capability, avoid a conventional war, and if it is forced upon it, stalemate India with conventional capability, irrational nuclear brinkmanship and actual use of tactical nuclear weapons if required, quid pro quo response to Indian threat below threshold of war in the form of surgical, air, drone, missile strikes and special forces operations, control India-sponsored 4 gigawatts as Pakistan perceives it in Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, federally administered tribal areas FATA and the hinterland, and expose it diplomatically. Neutralize India's influence in Afghanistan by facilitating Taliban's return to power. Back the above strategy with diplomacy and special relationship with China, Islamic countries and USA. Analysis of Pakistan's strategy. Pakistan has been eminently successful in implementing its strategy. With effect from 1990, it has continued with its 4 gigawatts in which peaked in 1998 to 2003. Indian Army has successfully controlled the military situation through a protracted model campaign. However, Pakistan considers this as a tactical setback and is confident that it can revive the 4 gigawatts. Its influence on the masses due to religious affiliation, anger over poor administration, bloodshed of last 26 years, frustration of a failed movement and resented presence of security forces, is largely intact, as is evident from the recent protests. In the past, Pakistan has exploited Intifada, and based on recent experience, it will exploit it even more to deny India the moral space it occupies internationally. Pakistan has successfully launched major terrorist strikes in the Indian hinterland using inter-services intelligence controlled non-state actors or Indian terrorists. International pressure following the 261 Firsts attack and Indian internal security measures have forced Pakistan to review this strategy. But it retains the capability and will continue to exploit the same in a calibrated manner. The insurrection in Balochistan, FATA, Karachi and persecution of minorities by vigilant Sunni groups, with perceived active Indian involvement, is considered the most dangerous threat. However, Pakistan is confident that it can control the situation. It has successfully deterred India from waging a limited war, exploiting its relative conventional superiority by a combination of diplomacy, upgradation of conventional capability and nuclear brinkmanship. A proactive limited war initiated by Pakistan in Kargil, based on the premise that the nuclear backdrop will prevent a major Indian military response and its resultant humiliation, was a one-off situation, and Pakistan is unlikely to repeat this blunder again. It has initiated and responded in a quid pro quo manner to all operations below threshold of war. India's aggressive diplomacy has to some extent isolated Pakistan and forced economic setbacks, but not enough to deter its strategy. Using China and the Islamic countries card, Pakistan has been able to limit the damage. Its Afghanistan policy, despite forcing the USA to pull out, has suffered a setback, but it hopes to make amends by assisting the Taliban to seize power. In a nutshell, Pakistan continues to pursue its strategy and is prepared for a prolonged struggle to achieve its political and military aims. India's strategic options. India's political aim with respect to Pakistan is very simple: prevent Pakistan from interfering in internal affairs through 4 gigawatts, and if it does so, maintain good relations for common good. Despite India's best efforts, Pakistan has adopted an absolutist and uncompromising approach. There is extreme public resentment in India against Pakistan, which has been compounded by political rhetoric and jingoism, without taking into account the strategic compulsions. Governments, including the present one, have wisely refrained from hasty strategic actions driven by tactical events. However, lack of a declared national security strategy and resultant ambiguity without official clarifications continues to fuel public imagination and clamoring for punitive action against Pakistan. This has ominous portents and may deny the government strategic freedom and future. Two fundamental points must be made. First, nuclear weapon-armed states do not and, I dare say, cannot fight a full-scale conventional war of annihilation or even absolute defeat of their adversary. However, space exists for a limited war, limited in time. Space and aims before nuclear weapons and international pressure comes into play. Second, wars and even covert or overt operations below threshold of war are waged to achieve political aims. A war of retribution, if it does not compel the adversary to peace on your terms, is a war without a political aim, and best avoidable. Above notwithstanding, India has the following strategic options with respect to Pakistan.